I first moved here in 1978. So I've been here just over 45 years, 46 years now, and it was like a country town. There was about 55,000 people here. There's now about 85 in Rockhampton itself. And yeah, it was a nice easy to go around country town. You could get in around 10 minutes, and there was one set of traffic lights. And that was in Elphinstone Street. Yes, I know. None in Fitzroy Street, none near the bridge or anywhere near there. So that was a nice aspect. And it had a lot of facilities because of Rex Pilbeam, to be quite honest, because the Pilbeam Theatre was being built. The university was already well established. The TAFE was, I came to TAFE for a 3-year contract, and I stayed. and TAFE blossomed and grew from, they were in the Regent building now, the hotel, and that's where I came to for first off. I taught office administration, and we moved to a rented building in Key Street until they built the one in Canning Street. So the country town feel of it was nice with the facilities. And it was easy to get to Brisbane if you wanted to travel anywhere, because I'm originally from New Zealand and I used to go home a lot. So, you know, so that was easy to get to. Well, the TAFE blossomed, and it got bigger, and basically it became my family too, because a lot of the people that came there went from Rockhampton, and they became our family because we didn't have family close by. And the new one at Canning Street made a big difference to the TAFE system. And other things that happened here, well, as I said, the Pilbeam Theatre came along. It was being built, I think, probably started when I came here. I actually thought it was here when I came here, but it wasn't. I found out. I heard when it was built. So it's got bigger. There's lots of traffic lights. Well, I'm into history, and things like Glenmore Homestead, you could just pop out there and have a look around and do your thing and whatever. So many of the history things have closed down, or they're not the same. Some are still going, but there was lots of nice things to do in Rockhampton, and now it's a bigger city feel about it, and it is a bigger city feel. That's what I miss the most, I think. But I enjoy the services and the facilities, obviously. They help. And now you used to be able to get anywhere in 10 minutes, now it might take you 20 minutes or half an hour. And this is the reason why people live in Rockhampton and not in Brisbane. Well, that's an interesting one, because I'm going to be derogatory. No, somebody pointed out to me that I'm a bit of a loner, and yes I am, because I used to move every 2 years. I had a son on my own. Well, I had a husband, but he left home. So my son and I travelled around, and Paul was 7 when I went to Samoa. And I used to move every 2 years and took jobs every 2 years. I had one in Timaru in New Zealand for 4 years. So I was a bit of a loner, but I had a community around me that I got on well with. But the thing was, we bought in a flood area which we didn't know about. We bought that house in 81 opposite Elizabeth Park in Knob Street, and we didn't know it was a flood area. And now if you're selling a property, you've got 1990 they changed the rules, and you've got to say if you are. They've actually fixed that now with the mitigation, and the last time was a flood coming, we got all the stuff up because they're on a high set. Up out of the way, and then 2 days later we put it all back down because we didn't flood. Have to be a massive one for us to go under now. The big one, help? No, nobody came and helped us, and we stayed in the house. And I've been in 2 or 3 floods, with 4 feet of water in the yard for 10 days, and you can't go anywhere. You park the car up the road and you wander out and whatever. And one of the other gentlemen I saw on, he said that their community helped, but it's an older community in Rockhampton and didn't know anybody. See, in our street, we didn't know anybody. And when you work full time, you don't make friends with your neighbours. And of course, in my area, it's a horse area, stable area. So there was very few neighbours anyway, and we were across the road from Elizabeth Park. So I didn't notice that. And then the next big one, the fireys came around and hosed out, but they didn't do a very good job. I had to do it myself after they finished. They tried, which was nice of them, but the first time they didn't, no help whatsoever. Nothing to do here. And it's a place to pass through, to go from Brisbane to Cairns or Brisbane to Townsville, and we're not stopping. And they find a place to stay overnight and on they go, because it's a full day's drive from Brisbane to Rockhampton. And they don't realise the things to do. And people come into the information centre and say, well, we're here tonight. You haven't a lot of time. You could have done this, and this, and a lot of people come back because they realise, yes, there's so many things to do. And so many things to do, and a lot of advantages in the tourism stuff in Rockhampton, and it's a shame. And as I said, the guys that came from Brisbane to do their country service went straight back to Brisbane because they don't see that there's anything here, which is crazy, really. And I think Rockies, even though I've only lived in Rockhampton in Queensland, the other towns that aren't the same, I don't think they have that same feeling. Like and Bundaberg and Townsville, Cairns, those sort of places. They don't have that way of looking at it. Rocky does. Well, I think it's got a lovely place to bring up family, and it's got so many advantages. And so many things to do. And there's a lot of things happening in Rocky that Rockhampton people don't know about. A lot of things that are happening. And the other interesting thing at the moment now is people come into the information centre and ask for somewhere to stay. We'll ring 10 places, no accommodation, because a lot of the accommodation is gone, and a lot of the workers are booking out the motels and the accommodation places for their workers, because of the ring road, there's the housing estates going up and all those sorts of things, because there's 500 houses going up at Gem Life out at Parkhurst. That's another thing. I came here and moved into a caravan park at Parkhurst. It was called Boonyell. They had a 8-foot high Aboriginal out the front. Do you remember that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I took stuff to my son just recently, and there was a postcard that he had sent to his grandma and granddad in New Zealand, and it was a photo of the Boonyell, and he was showing his son. He said, look at this, Ryan, you can see this Boonyell. It's where Woolies is now. That's where that caravan park was.
Okay.
And Country Club's still there. It was there then too, and so was the Parkhurst thing. But I lived out there for 2 years, and there was nothing there. Absolutely nothing. There was a house on a corporate works across the road. There was a school, 3-teacher school. My son went there for the last year of his primary school. And look at it now. So Rockhampton has grown really, really big. It used to be a railway and meatworks town, and now it's a commercial centre more so than meatworks and railway. That is still there, but the railway, the workshops went, and that meant that it's not such a big concept now. And meatworks closed down for a while and came back, and they're employing overseas people mostly. So, it's different. Things have changed, but it is a big city now, and that's what's changed. And I think it's a shame, because that country feel of it was lovely, and I'm still here. I'm quite happy to stay here. As I said, it's still easy to get around, and still, if you want to move anywhere, you go to Brisbane and you move and you travel wherever you want to go. It's easy to get to.